Every Hanukkah, I'm reminded once again of this extraordinary and dramatic photo. The story of this picture takes us back to December 31, 1932, in a city in Germany named Kiel. It was the 8th night of Hanukkah that coincided with Shabbos. Rebbetzin Rachel Posner set up the menorah on the ledge of the window of their home. Her husband, the rabbi of the community, Rabbi Akiva Baruch Posner, kindled all of the 8 flames. His wife, Rachel, looked out the window, and what she saw was something surreal. You see, across the street was the headquarters of the Nazi party, and a large flag, the swastika, draped down over the building. For Rachel Posner, this represented the stark contrast between 2 world orders, and she decided she has to immortalize the moment through a photograph. She snapped a picture, and then she ran to light the Shabbat candles moments before the sun set over the horizon of Kiel, Germany. She developed the film. On the backside of the picture, she wrote these words in German. I will translate them into English. Hanukkah 1932. Judah will die, thus says the flag. Judah will live forever, thus say the lights. Indeed, just a few days later, Germany went to elections. It was the elections that appointed Adolf Hitler as the Führer of the country on January 30th, 1933. He became the Chancellor of Germany. And over the next 15 years, the flame of Judah came so close to extinction. More than 80 years have passed. And a few days ago, I was schmoozing with an old friend of mine. We grew up together in yeshiva in New York. He is today the chief rabbi of Berlin, Rabbi Yehuda Teichtel. And he shared with me that a little while ago, he was invited by the president of Germany. And the president says, Rabbi Teichtel, this year commemorates the 80th anniversary since Kristallnacht, which essentially represented the onset of the Holocaust. How do you think Germany should commemorate this 80th anniversary since Kristallnacht? So Rabbi Teichtel told him, I was sent here to Berlin by my teacher and mentor, the late Lubavitcher Rebbe. He always taught in places and situations where one observes the greatest darkness. It is only a calling for us to introduce into those places and situations the greatest light. Why don't we erect a large Hanukkah menorah at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin? President Steinmeier was enthusiastic in the very spot where Hitler stood and gave his fiery sermons, presentations, and speeches, enticing a nation to violence, genocide, bloodshed, and hate. In the very spot where so many of the parades took place, the motorcades, inspiring hundreds of thousands of Hitler youth to murder, kill, destroy, and decimate. In that very place, the president of Germany, the government of Germany, would erect a menorah representing the freedom of the human spirit, the power of light over darkness, the power of love to triumph over hate. And he says, Rabbi, can I have the privilege of kindling the menorah at the Brandenburg Gate this year? And Rabbi Teichtel said, Mr. President, you will be kindling that light that imparts light to all the others, what we call the shamash. Indeed, tonight, at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, cherry picker will lift up the Chief Rabbi Techtel and President Frank Walter Steinmeier. The president will light the shamash. Give it to the rabbi who will kindle the first candle. Thousands of Jews and people are expected to be present there. Friend, I want you to think about this moment. 8 decades after the Holocaust, the successor, leader of Germany today, turns to a Chabad Hasidic rabbi in Berlin and asks him for the privilege to light the menorah at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin. If this is not a miracle, what is a miracle? And now come with me from Brandenburg Gate to Berlin, to the Holy Land, to our eternal homeland. In Haifa lives a Jew, his name is Yehuda Manzabach. He's also lighting the menorah this evening in Israel. On the ledge of the window of his home, there's a menorah. Look at the menorah. Which menorah is it? It's the menorah of his grandfather and his grandmother, Rachel and Rabbi Akiva Baruch Posner, that was saved and came to the Holy Land. And he ignites it and kindles it every single year. And each year when Yehuda lights the menorah in the presence of his children and grandchildren, he takes out the picture and he reads the note of his grandmother. Judah will die, thus says the flag. Judah will live forever. Judah vet leben in Ewigkeit, thus say the lights. Who was right? Happy Hanukkah.